Welcome to a review of the Brewster by brewolution.com. Now, you probably saw our setup video recently where we just had a look through at what we got, the unboxing and all the equipment you get with the Brewster. Well, today is brew day, and the very first thing you've got to do is to clean your Brewster unit. So to do that, we've simply set the temperature up to 100 with a time of 10 minutes. We'll show you how to use the menu a bit later. And that is then ready to go. We simply then turn on our circulation pump, which is around here, making sure that our ball valve is on here and the valve is on at the top as well, so that we can circulate that hot water throughout the Brewster unit to get rid of some of those residual oils from the manufacturing process. So that'll take about 10 minutes time, and then we'll empty it and fill it up with the water ready to start the brew. Okay, welcome back. So we're now at the stage where we're ready to begin the entire brew process. So onto the menu. We can hit the home button here. The menu is extremely straightforward to use. Simply hit the menu up and down buttons. You can set your mashing profiles, your language, and also the temperature scale, degrees C or degrees Fahrenheit. So very handy and easy to navigate. Once you get to the thing you want to change, then simply go to enter. And in terms of mashing, program 1, we can set the time required for it to mash once it gets up to the mashing temperature. And there's various other things we can do. You simply hit the set button there. So we're going to go for a mash time of this recipe of 90 minutes. So we just hold down that button, makes it go a bit faster. And we're going to have a mash temperature of 66 degrees C for that 90 minutes. So we then scroll down to the temperature, change that to 66 degrees C. And you can see that there's step 2 is now appeared on the menu as well, so you can set various steps depending on what you're brewing. We're doing a Crafty Brews tribute recipe pack courtesy of brewuk.co.uk. So once you're all set up, simply hit start, and it's going to actually come on with the heating light there, and when it's up to that temperature of 66, then the timer will begin for 90 minutes. At that point you could hit pause if you wish, and that will enable you to put in your grains and then restart it. Entirely up to you, but we're going to rejoin it at the point where we have the grains. Okay, so just something else to note with the actual interface itself. You can see that it tells you the actual temperature currently, and of course that's rising as we've got the heating elements on, and the actual time that will start to count down incrementally as soon as the set temperature you've programmed in is met. And there's also an alarm beep at the end just to let you know that's happened. Welcome back. So we've now reached our mashing temperature of 66 degrees C. We've paused the program now, and we're ready to add in our grains. So we're going to take the lid off. Might get a slight temperature drop here, so you could program it to be a little bit higher in mash temperature. And we're simply going to take our malt bags. Now we have some Maris Otter and Munich malts to add to the unit itself, so that should be quite nice to see for this tribute pack here. And we're going to make sure that when we add that malt, obviously we want to stir it as much as possible as we do that, so that we don't end up with any particular areas that are more or less distributed as well. So that's really important. So we're going to take our packet and probably cut a small flap in the top there. We don't want it all pouring out too much. And then we're simply going to pour it in evenly throughout the actual container there. And we've got our 2 sieves in at the bottom. Okay, so that's going to help to obviously trap that malt and not allow it to go through the pump and be recirculated afterwards. That's the first bag going in. Make sure it's all gone through. Okay, so then we want to take our spoon. We've got a wooden one, sorry, we've got a plastic one here, I should say, and we want to give it a really good stir, making sure that there are no sort of dry patches there. We want as much of the water to contact the malt grains as possible there, so make sure it's going to extract all those valuable sugars. So that's the first bag. We're going to put the second bag in, and we're going to rejoin you once we recommence the mash. Okay, welcome back. You rejoin us at the point where we've restarted the mash process now, and you can see the actual time is now counting down at 83 minutes. It's held that temperature nicely at around 66 degrees C. So once we've restarted the mash process, we're now ready to start recirculating the wort, and we can do that by attaching the pump to the left hand side of the ball valve, and also you'll notice the recirculator then can just sit on the grain bed which is this ring here, and that can sit on top to make sure the water's recirculating to extract all those sugars. So once we've done that, ball valve is open here, this valve is open here. It's simply a case of turning it on at the mains, which we'll do now. Super, you can see it's coming out there, quite a pressure involved, so that's going to sit on the grain bed and recirculate the wort for the duration of the mash process. We're going to rejoin it when we are ready to sparge. Okay, so welcome back. We are now at a stage where we're at 1 minute to go until sparging. So when we come to the sparging part, we're going to switch off the circulation pump, we're going to remove the lid, and using these two metal handles, these are going to go with the bulges outwards onto the underside of the rim there, and then we'll lift the whole of the interior bucket up and prop it up on the stand. Now that's the alarm telling us now it's time for the sparge, so we're just going to shut off the pump and remove that in a moment. The next stage is a little bit awkward, so we'll rejoin you when we have lifted it up and we're ready to add the sparge. Right, so you can probably see and hear that we've lifted up the bucket now and it's draining through nicely back into the boiling container below. Now that was quite a straightforward operation. We lifted it up. It was quite heavy, but it's always going to be heavy when you do that, so we just did that carefully and we're quite confident now it's sitting securely on the stands there. So once the grain bed is exposed from the bucket above, that's the point at which you want to add your sparge water. Now for our recipe it's around about 77 degrees C, so we've also set the temperature to reach that level in the boiler below. But you can, if you want to, start to do the boiling process whilst you're sparging. It'll hurry things up a little bit as well, so we've only set our sparge time to 10 minutes. So add your water roughly around about 1 litre per minute as a rough guide, nice and evenly over the grain bed. Once that's all drained through, then you want to make sure it's topped up to 2 centimetres from the top, and then you're ready to begin the boil process. That's where we'll pick things up. Okay, welcome back. So we're now at the stage where it's reached a rolling boil, and we're going to add our first hops, which is some Fuggles and some Willamette, and then we're going to follow the hop schedule for the rest of the 90 minutes. So here we go. We can put them in the muzz sacks there so they can go straight in. And we're going to rejoin this at the stage where it's ready to put into the fermentation buckets at the end of the boil. Okay, right, so we're at the end of the boil stage now, and we've opened the ball valve to the position so it'll allow the wort to flow through the counter chiller, which we've plumbed up to our cold tap. So that's chilling nicely, that's reducing the temperature down to around about 20 degrees, at which point we can pitch our yeast. So it's been quite an interesting process. It's been a lot of fun actually using the Brewster, and we're going to report back with our overall findings of the Brewster shortly, so please rejoin us then when we've pitched our yeast and have tidied up a little bit. So, overall findings of using the Brewster NG by Brew. Really favourable actually. We've reviewed several of these homebrew machines. This is most likely the easiest one out of the ones we've used so far, and I think that's a key word, easy. Really straightforward to set up, really straightforward to clean. Using the interactive menu and the display was an absolute joy. The buttons have a really nice feel to them and depressed really easily. It was very straightforward to set up our mash profiles and temperature profiles throughout. So that was really helped to boost our confidence with using this unit. It's also got a really nice quality feel to it. This is going to last loads of homebrews for you, if you treat it well. And certainly the actual accessories that came with it too were also very sturdy. So we had, for example, the pump down there functioned throughout the cleaning process with temperatures around about 100 degrees, all the way down to our mashing temperatures of around 66 degrees. And the circulation loop as well, that was a lot of fun. Sits on top of your grain bed, as we said, and disperse the wort evenly over the grain bed. And you could also adjust the pressure with the blue valve at the bottom there, so that was really quite useful, especially if you've got larger grain beds going in there. So overall, super products. There were a couple of issues, mostly minor things really. In terms of the chiller here, we'd have liked to have seen a turned down spout. It was just a little bit terrifying when it came shooting out the first time, but we got the hang of that. That wasn't a problem. And just really, I suppose, in terms of the actual product being on its base, it just felt a little bit unstable. It didn't cause any problems for us, but you can see that it does. It will move around, so you just have to have it somewhere where it's going to stay in one place, and just be careful when you're obviously moving it if you need to. But don't let that stop you. We highly recommend this. It's well worth checking out their full range of products and accessories from the Brew website. It's been a pleasure to review this. Thank you for watching.